Let's take a closer look at the Black Series, a 6-inch figure of Vice Admiral Rampart from the Bad Batch animated series.
Varykino, living the Star Wars life.
Hello there, and thanks for visiting the Varykino YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Black Series, a 6-inch figure of Vice Admiral Rampart from the animated series The Bad Batch. The third and sadly final season of The Bad Batch is currently airing on Disney+, so in celebration of how much I love this show, I am going through and opening up all of my Bad Batch Black Series figures. I've been trying to collect up as much as I can from the show, from the Black Series line, and now is finally the time to open them all up. So today I'm going with Vice Admiral Rampart. Slightly less exciting than some of the main Bad Batch characters, but he is part of the line nonetheless. So before I take a closer look at the figure inside the packaging, let's take a look at the box itself. We have the classic Hasbro Black Series 6-inch figure packaging here with that window, because this is a slightly older figure. I did pick this one up on clearance, so there is a little bit of shelf wear to this one, but it's not too bad. The Bad Batch Black Series boxes uses the dark red color for the sort of branding and color stripe here, which does make the text a little bit harder to read, but because this is a color that does appear on that original Clone Force 99 armor, it totally matches with the theme here. So we've got the Star Wars The Bad Batch text here, and then we have the character name Vice Admiral Rampart in that dark red color. Thankfully it's gloss, so we can actually see it under the lights there. Now on the side we have the character art. So he's standing in a very classic Imperial officer pose, kind of reminds me of Tarkin with his hand raised in sort of a thoughtful scheming pose here with a Imperial Star Destroyer and a planet behind him. Sort of fades out into that dark red color, and then we have Vice Admiral Rampart written here in black. Again, a little bit hard to see against that dark red color, but I really wouldn't have it any other way. I think this color is perfect for the Bad Batch line. On the back we have that art repeated here again. The stripe shows that this is 08 of the Bad Batch Black Series collection, and then we have a little bit of a bio here for Vice Admiral Rampart. After the fall of the Republic, Vice Admiral Rampart is assigned to oversee the clone troopers on Kamino by Governor Tarkin. Rampart has eagerly taken to his role in the new Galactic Empire as it aims to instill order in the galaxy. So there you go. Pretty sort of basic, not too spoilery description there. We have that sort of little bit of a side window there, little side window there, and all that copyright text on the bottom there. So that is the packaging. So let's take a closer look, open them up, and let's get a closer look at that figure inside. So now I have the figure out of the packaging. We'll take a closer look at his details. But first, he does actually come with some accessories, which we can see through the bubble, but it's always fun to get them out and take a closer look. We have the classic Imperial mouse droid, which is a really fun accessory to have. And we have one small little blaster pistol there as well. He doesn't appear to have a holster, so we're going to see how well he can pose with it once I've gone through some of his other details. So first things first, I know Imperial officers tend to have a little bit of a basic appearance. It's a fairly standard costume, but it is nice to sort of have some Imperial characters within the Bad Batch Black Series line because they are so important to the storyline. There is a lot of conflict with the Empire in the show. So we have Vice Admiral Rampart here in the olive version of the Imperial officer outfit. We have the tunic, black belt with silver buckle, those sort of flared out Jodhpur style pants, and high black boots. We have a really cool little silver rank badge here, which I have to say is painted really quite tidily. All those tiny little red and blue rectangles there on the silver rank badge, and he has a couple of blue and silver code cylinders in his jacket pockets there. We've got that silver belt buckle there and the little silver dome, again painted really nice and tidily there. I can even see the little ridges on that front dome buckle there. Got some really nice detail. Not really much to say about the back. We'll take a closer look at the articulation. I can see that his neck is sort of painted as opposed to sort of being made of the same plastic as his face, and I can kind of see that a little bit more at the sides, but it is a pretty good match for the plastic that they have used for the head. I think his face is reasonably well painted, not too much detail. We've got a little bit of a sort of a quirked eyebrow here, which I think is kind of fun. His left eyebrow is kind of raised, like he is scheming. I think that's kind of fun. And overall, pretty tidy eyes, sort of neutral lip detail. His hair is pretty evenly painted. We've got that little bit of a seam line going across, but that is not too distracting there. We've got just like perhaps a little bit of a sort of missed patch of paint right behind the ear. That could be perhaps just a little bit tidier, but that's just really fine detail points. The hair is sculpted on the head as one piece, and that's a pretty tidy line around the hairline there. It always bothers me when it's sort of a little bit jarring, but because it's so close to the face, which is quite a focal point there. So, pretty nice head movement as well. His chin is going to stop him from going too far down. Gets to about there. I can tip his head back, but his hair is kind of hitting on the back of his collar there. So not too much backwards and forwards, but we can get a reasonable amount of movement there. And I dare say Imperials don't sort of look down too often. They like to keep their gaze upward in that kind of look of superiority, shall we say. So we can see when his hands are flat down by his sides, we can see that top shoulder hinge kind of exposed. It looks a little bit neater, shall we say. If we put his arms up, then we get that nice, tight sort of jacket look here. And having actually made one of these costumes myself, I do like the fact that we can see all of those sort of stitch lines here on the costume. We've got the seams running around the back, down there, and down the back of the arms. Always nice to see those little details. I like seeing like the details that you would see if you were sort of looking at a real costume in person. We can sort of see fabric folds and stitches and things like that. So that's always kind of fun. And of course, we've got some good sort of creasing of fabric going on here, because I know there's not much else to really sculpt on an Imperial officer outfit. We can see that that panel of the jacket coming down here, we've got just that little bit of sort of overhang here. We can see that sort of seam line there. And we've also got the seam lines running down the front of the arms. So yeah, it's kind of a shame that his sort of shoulder joins look a little bit better with his arms out at the side, because that is a little bit of an odd pose. Perhaps we will do some sort of holding and thinking poses with his arms later. So I can get pretty good. If I can get this one, that one's kind of stiff. Get his arms up pretty high. This one goes up a little higher, I think, getting a little bit more of a raise on that one than this one. Nice kind of stiff joints, but I can move them once I get sort of the pose that I really want. And we can see the hinge on the back of the hand. And we've got quite a sort of a pointed finger, which kind of works well if you want to pose him with his blaster, but he also just looks like he's sort of pointing as well, which is kind of fun if you don't want to pose him with a weapon in his hand. And we've got not too much rotation backwards and forwards on there, but we've got a really nice spin there. And same on the other side. So we've got a tiny amount of movement. It's kind of stiff. Okay, I can actually move him around a little bit further. It's very stiff though, but it does actually hold. Some figures I find kind of want to snap back to center. That one I can actually pose a little bit, though it does start to look a little bit twisted because you get those seam lines kind of becoming rather askew. We've got a sort of a split in the plastic at the sides to help articulate the legs, and I can see that there is a upper thigh split, so we can sort of rotate the legs a little bit. And same again on the other side there. And because this part of his outfit is quite thick, because we've kind of got like an overlap here, it feels quite thick. I doubt we're going to get much in the way of bending his legs forward. That is about as far forward as he's going to go, because that is really impacting. This is not bending. So he's not really going to do a lot of forward poses, and that's about as far back as he's going to lean too, because again, we've got this tunic just hitting and stopping him from doing a lot of leg poses there. But we've got that upper thigh seam, so we can rotate his legs. So we've got some posability there. And in that limited range of motion, it does actually move fairly well. And we can rotate. One thing that I thought was kind of funny is if you rotate the thighs forward, you've got this kind of odd hole here, which is sort of the pin insertion point for the knee joints, but it just kind of looks funny, like there's a hole at the bottom of this pant sort of blousing here that just looks a little bit odd. So I'm kind of gonna try and, you know, sort of pose him on my shelf with that kind of turned away from the front, because it just looks a little bit funny. I know that for, you know, knees, we're going to have some articulation points that don't always work the best with the shape. So we've got an interesting sort of knee join here with that sort of section of kneecap splitting out. But it does give him some pretty good movement here all the way. So he can get all the way onto his knees with that articulation there. And it holds pretty well, kind of snapped back into place. I'm always a little bit anxious about loose joints, particularly on the legs, because that's when figures really want to sort of dive forward. So it's actually got fairly good movement. I'm a little bit worried about that one actually, because that one's actually a lot freer than I'm used to seeing on my Black Series figures. This one clicks into place. This one is just all over the place. So that's going to be interesting seeing how he's going to pose. Like, he doesn't have like a sort of a skewed center of gravity. He doesn't have a big backpack or anything like that. He's not going to be holding a big weapon. So I'm hoping that that means that he's going to stand up fairly well, because that ankle did make me worry, because it kind of flexes very easily there. Hopefully that slightly stiffer left ankle is going to hold him in a good position. So as best I can tell, I know some Imperial officers sort of have like holsters or places to carry and stow a weapon. There is no peg holes or anything of a sort on his belt, and there is no obvious sort of place to stow a blaster on this figure. So we're just going to see how well he can hold it. It's a cute little blaster there, quite a unique one. And I'm hoping, okay, they just slotted straight in. That was not very hard at all. So if I can get his arms into some sort of interesting poses. There we go. He held that pretty well. Nice and easy. And you can really see the way that that finger fits in there. And that was not a struggle. So that's nice. I haven't done it, but I'm always, you know, worried about the day that I bend or snap a action figure finger trying to get them to hold their weapons. So there we go. Just going to try and get him to perhaps stand a little bit more sturdily. Okay, don't you tip over. I want to take a closer look at this adorable little mouse droid. Such a classic, kind of in the background character, but so iconic for Star Wars as well. This one has some interesting weathering on it. I've seen ones in the past, you know, just flat black plastic, all shiny. This one is dirty in its paint scheme, and we've even got some sort of silver accented sort of scratches and weathering on it, which is really quite interesting. We've got this brown wash And we can see it's got some sort of silver accenting along some of those edges, particularly in this back section here. So he is definitely getting a little bit well worn in his service to the Empire. But yes, some very nice detail on these side panels. I know it's a bit dark, hoping the camera will pick up all of those details. It's a very fine little greebly detail up the top there, and that side panel. And of course, the fun thing, these wheels do actually spin. So you can roll him, which is kind of cute. They're not fixed like I have seen on some collectible versions of this toy. I think that's cute. You're not really going to be playing with this quite as much, but I just think that that is a fun feature and clearly not that hard to do. So they've just snapped those wheels on with the simple sort of post and attachment system there. So nothing too complicated. He doesn't wind back or anything like that. It's just simply spinning wheels. But yes, I think it's always cute. A good way to kind of add just a little bit more of an added bonus to a fairly simple character, but a great addition to the lineup for the Bad Batch. I'm really hoping to have a little bit more of the bad guys represented in the Black Series line for the show, especially in this third season. Without getting into spoilers, there are some characters I really, really want in a Black Series to add to my collection, because the Bad Batch, they've got to have their bad guys to fight against for my scenes and poses. There is a couple in this third season I am crossing my fingers so hard because I really, really want them in action figure form. So there you have it. Not the most exciting figure, but I'm glad to have an Imperial for Bad Batch to pose with on my shelf. Overall, he's a pretty good figure. When I get him to stand up, he holds his blaster well. I like his sort of quirked eyebrow. Feels like a very good Imperial expression there. Very tidy paint job on those fine details. Overall, he's fun. I am glad I picked him up on clearance though. You know, he's not exactly going to be flying off the shelves. So I'm very happy that I got him for a good price and filled that spot in my Black Series Bad Batch collection. So there we have it. Thank you so much for watching my Vice Admiral Rampart Black Series action figure unboxing. Do check out our other videos for more Bad Batch Black Series unboxings as I work my way through the series to celebrate the third and final season currently airing on Disney+. Catch you in the next video, and as always, may the Force be with you.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.